for later. That's fun.
But you don't see any of my art.
No.
Oh.
Very tasteful.
And to be fair, we wouldn't say if we did.
It's just that I've made cartoon tokens for you all. Just like,
just bloody up versions, so when everyone loses HP.
Yeah, I could just change it, and then you look like you're dead. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are here. Sorry for the late start and a variety of issues, but the most important thing is that we are here now.
The late start is all my fault.
Well, Mr. Pickles was late as well.
I wanted some of that bus to be thrown under.
Yeah, he did think. Hello, Luke. How are you doing? Are you looking good and feeling super duper fine? Yeah, so we are here. We're ready to go. And we've come to a very crucial point in the game. I actually think the party have been trying to put this battle off for some time because it was due a couple of weeks ago, but they decided to go after a dark stalker beast instead. I think they've put off attacking the giant crab, but today they can't run anymore. They are going to be going out to a sandbank to tackle a giant crab, and yeah, it should be lots of fun. But before we get straight into the adventure, I'm going to allow the players an opportunity to say who they are and who they will be playing tonight. And as always, we start off with Mr. Pickles.
That is me. I am Mr. Pickles, and I play Bartleby Fumus, which is our team's theist. I basically cover all the things that you'd need to keep people alive, keep them safe from poison. And in a crab fight, I'm going to be here putting people's arms back on when they get ripped off.
Can you do that? Can you do that?
I can heal serious wounds.
Oh, that would be a major wound if their arm got...
So, yeah. Because I can stabilize it, but it's best if you keep it connected.
Yeah.
If you think your arm's going to be ripped off by a giant crab,
use a point of luck.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that is the best advice there. Use your luck. Believe in your own gods. Bartleby believes in Amriel, who is a light moon goddess, and she gives him all of these powers to protect and heal people. He doesn't really have much in the way of combat, but he's been developing a defensive style with staves. For the most part, he provides the team with a lot of knowledge on different things, monsters primarily here when we're dealing with crabs, but he's also learning about poisons and other nerd stuff like history. Okay, well, yeah, he's a helper person. He always tries to help people where he is. Friend of the guards, savior of the slums. That is Bartleby Fumus. And I'm going to flail the microphone on over to Medivac.
Why, thank you, sir. Hi, everybody. I'm Medivac, and I play Hasra Khan, the hunter tracker of the party. Also reasonably good in combat, but this could be his last night. We shall see. He is... oh gosh, let's go through this. In Lindo called Basil. I used to supply him with meats because my tracking and hunting skills were very good, so I used to always supply meats and things like that. But we moved away from there now. He's a friend of the Dryads. He's a member of the Brotherhood, who is a group of people who keep a track of what's happening in all the biomes around the world, and they've been doing this since records began. And they just maintain a delicate balance, really. He does have a distrust of magic, but he's getting over that now in a sense because he's been exposed to so much from his friends that he knows what is good and what it does. It's getting over his understanding of it. So he's very good with a short spear, and equally as good with a scimitar. Yeah, he's not that good at swimming, which is and with that, I shall pass on to Captain Kangaroo.
Hey everyone, I'm Captain Kangaroo. Tonight I'm playing Osiris Alias. He's kind of the main character of the group. He's like if this was a movie, he would be played by the actor with the top billing for sure.
Like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he's the Tom Cruise type, height and all. But he's the magician slash fighter group. He's the guy who could do all, and he does all of his own stunts. So that's what's even better.
And he's very small.
Well, he stretches. And according to Kitty, home size doesn't matter. No. But besides that, he hopefully also doesn't know how to swim, but hopefully brought enough butter to make this crab fest delightful for the rest of the town.
I just didn't know where you were going with that butter there.
But I will pass the microphone to Max.
We are in the outback.
My finger was poised near. But it's always poised by the mute button when you talk, Captain. Yeah, go for it, Max.
I'm Max. I play Rohan, a kind of roguish thief from the streets of Lindo. It's his real first big outing, and he's had to fight things that you only see in books and hear in tales. And he's a little in over his head at this point. Started out real cocky, but has found that being cocky doesn't work to your advantage.
You just don't like fish stew. I think that's
I bet he
maybe
can't
it's the
swim either.
fish stew. Maybe it's not.
Can you swim?
No.
Let's hope the crab comes to the boat.
Everybody lives on a port town, and it's just nobody can
Just
swim.
don't do
Nobody
it,
can.
dear. No.
Anybody
Yeah.
have swim over 20?
Yes.
Actually, I should probably verify this. Do I even have swim?
No.
It is at 19. Pretty close.
You're one better than me.
Yeah.
Priest.
God, we're gonna die.
Yeah, 20. Yay!
Oh.
I'll make sure to get on top of
Thank you.
on the shoulders. I was gonna get on top of the shoulders. So stay above water.
Do they sell armbands at the
Yeah, water wings.
water wings?
Anything else you want to say, Max?
I would like to say that first adventure, quick death. There we go. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Right.
Let's go.
So I will bring it back to me. I just realised that Medivac and Captain Kangaroo's images were around the wrong way, so I've changed that. So a very brief overview. The party are going after the Harpy Queen called Chahelia. They have gained from Matilda, who's a seer that lives near the sea, a cryptic rhyme, a poem or something like that, and a shell-encrusted dagger. Bartleby's been trying to figure out what the cryptic verse is, with various degrees of success. And they are now planning on going out and finding the location of Chahelia and banishing her back to the plane of darkness or wherever she originated from, or even killing her altogether. The only thing that they are not too sure about is where her temple is. And that is why they are going out to deal with a rather large crab. So generally what happened, that there was a Matilda told them of a blue mage called Barton Seawater, who had a ship called the Sorcerer's Favour. He was a collector of maps, antiquities, that sort of like thing, and it is rumoured that on his ship he had a map that could lead to Chahelia's temple. However, the Sorcerer's Favour ran aground a sand dune off the coast of Windvine in a violent storm some years ago and was wrecked. However, as well as the wreck of the Sorcerer's Favour, there was also a giant crab that has taken up residence on the sand dune. It generally, during low tide, nestles down within the sand, and then when high tide comes and that covers the sand dune and the wreck of the Sorcerer's Favour, it then goes out to eat, etc., etc. The party have located one person in Windvine to take them out to the sand dune, and her name is Molly Scarecrow.
Squaresail.
Yeah, Scarecrow. Molly Squaresail. And we left the party about to get ready to go out and brave the ocean currents and head out to the wreck. Just to let you know, if you, as a party, you have got one group luck point left for September. So you've got one luck point left. You'll have all your luck back, and your magic pools and devotion pools will be full for the start of the adventure, because quite naturally you've had a sleep. And if you are interested in supporting any of your favourite characters or me as a GM, then by donating £1 or 100 bitties, you can give anybody in the party a luck point. They can use these to adjust dice rolls, save themselves from death, and even make me fail rolls. So it's something that is very precious to them. They have their own to start off with, but any that you provide for them, they add to that and use that first. So yeah, and if you're interested in any one-sided sheet RPG encounters, then I've put the link to those in the chat as well. Okay then, people, let's get straight on with this. Before we start, can I just have some idea about the break time? It's 10 to 8 now. Do you still want to break at 8:30, or do you want to leave it later?
I mean, I can leave later. Normally I eat then, but I've already eaten, so.
I already did my things.
Do you want to go till 1:45 and then take a break then? Talk to me.
That sounds
Sure.
That sounds fine to me.
Yeah, and we can make it a shorter break too, so we can fit more time.
Is that all right for you, Medivac? You're quiet.
Yeah. No. I'm just thinking where my hoofa doofa is. It's in the car. I'll be 1 minute.
You're what?
my smoky thingy. So.
Oh, right. Yeah, you go and grab it. Go and grab it.
If I can add, Cyrus had gotten some explosives, dubious quality. I remember before we had gone on to our hunting trip.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, I don't remember that at all.
No,
I
It's a real
remember
thing.
that. It was, of course,
it was at the end
quality.
of. It was the end of two of.
Oh no! I found the note in my in my notebook. It just says the word Cyrus, and then it has those exploding emojis on either side of it.
But honestly, that means so much. That means he's a
that
hot-headed.
means-
It means
No,
so much.
it clearly means that we need to blow up Cyrus.
Yeah, and
That's what this means.
and just next to that is a laughing crab. So,
Oh, that's great.
I remember your words were, this probably won't kill it, right? And I said, yeah, I just want to at least have something we can start the fight by throwing off a...
Yeah.
We're gonna
So what were these? Tell me what they look like, these explosives.
Cyrus is the one who bought them. I had nothing to do with it. I just
Okay.
persuaded him to go do something for once.
Am I thinking like a clay pot?
I thought there were barrels of oil that he was going to shoot or throw fireballs at.
Well, they
This
can.
is after I turn to a giant gorilla.
So you can have your. This is your choice. Can I just say, Eld, thank you so much for resubscribing. I really do appreciate that, and I'll sing you your song tomorrow when you're next around, or whenever you're around. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to give you a choice, Cyrus. Okay, so you can either have one thing that's almost like a clay pot that has, say, gunpowder inside and some kind of fuse that you chuck, that will cause an explosion, and generally quite a big explosion. So you would need to light the fuse, which I think, do you have the folk magic ignite?
I do.
So it's something like that, and then you can throw it, or you can have 3 glass vials of oil. Now they won't explode, but when you cast fire onto them, the oil will set alight.
So that'd be worth having those to throw at the crab, and they'll spread over the crab, and then you just do a fireball.
What if
you
the
do your
crab
flame
is
thing.
in water or next to water?
That is the thing that is the issue.
Yeah.
Which,
I
well,
think that here's the thing with the explosive clay pop is that if I aim it right, I can possibly get one of its like pincers, like get right here in the pit, like right here, and that gives away a large portion of what it can get, what can use to attack us.
Yeah. Just to, do you have a throwed weapons skill?
No, but Medevac does.
I can
but
throw a
bomb
spear.
is a little different than
Yeah.
a spear. Like, I have throwing
Because I'll be holding it with my
degree,
2
but-
fingers and it just fall behind.
Yeah, you go.
No one has a skill for throw a grenade.
No.
No one.
No.
Well, I mean, I have throw street debris, and that's a stretch as it is, but that's only at 28%. So
Or
It's a pot.
Or the
Why would you
alternative is that you don't chuck it, you place it, and then get away from it and ignite it.
You could wear a belt and strap it to that belt. And then, so you don't drop it, of course, and then run close to it.
Or even better, I turn into a stork, I fly off, and then I airdrop it.
Like a little baby.
Although you may be thinking of attack, they would also be very good as a defense. So if you were running away back to the boat and, there was oil on the ground or something, it would make, or an explosion ready to go off, it would make a sizable hole or distraction that could stop the crab.
I mean, my train of thought, Hasra's train of thought here is that he would rather do this as stealthily and quietly as possible, and hopefully not even attract the crab.
Yeah, nice.
But I don't know how you guys think about that. I think you want to just go bang in the sand with your fists.
I think it's important
Easily.
that we start calling the crab by its proper name. It does Death Pincer.
Death
Yeah.
Pincer.
So yeah. So
yeah, Death P. We can just
DP.
we can hope that we can sneak past, but based on experience, I'm not sure. I mean, Rohan, maybe you could go with Hasra and like sneak into the ship, and maybe you guys could find things, but I don't know. I think we should be prepared for the inevitable irritable crab.
We should have brought Thumbers.
Death Pincer.
So this might be a bit of a moment in time to quiz Molly Squaresail, who has been out to the location, and also she has taken various people out there who think that they can actually kill Death Pincer. So she has some information to give you, and a lot more if she can be gently persuaded.
Well, would we be meeting her like because we went out and we did the adventure with the Death Stalker, and this is probably at the bar in the town?
Yeah,
The
so
night before we're going to be heading out?
sounds perfect. Yeah. So you can chat to her then if you wish.
Oh yeah, because it's like we've never been there, and you have. Is there anything you can describe for us how we're going to get on this boat, or where Death Pincer lies in wait.
Okay then. So Bartleby, give me an influence roll. This bodes well.
Right.
Say again.
I don't know.
I think I'm just gonna leave.
No, you use the freebie and have another go, because then that way we get 2 more in a couple of days' time anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. You do, yeah.
Yeah, next session, yeah, 2 more.
Okay, fine. I will take your offering of points of luck and reroll.
Oh, yeah.
Very influential.
Okay then.
My 2 minions were distracting me for a
Bartleby,
little bit,
tell me
but
some more.
now I'm focusing on the conversation.
Okay then. So with that critical roll, she's going to tell you everything that she knows about the island or the sandbank. So she's going to tell you it in a narrative time style, but I'll try to condense it as you ask questions and debate what's actually going to happen. So the first thing is the Sorcerer's Favour is a wreck. Okay, the majority of it is actually covered in sand. You can probably see the high decks on the bow and the prow of the ship, if that makes sense. The mast has long since been snapped off, but the only access into the bowels of the ship, as far as she knows, seems to be from a rather swollen wooden doorway. And she says that going through that door, it definitely looks like you'll be going down below the level of the sand, if that makes sense. She also tells you that what she normally does, apart from a very foolish attempt that she's going to tell you about in a minute, she normally sets out from Windvine to arrive at the sand dune as low tide hits. So they normally get there just as the water is revealing the sand dune. Many people have tried to approach the wreck, and the only way there's no bits of sand. You have to cross the sand, if that makes sense. There's no, the boat's not near the water at one side or the other side. It's dead in the center, and it's, very difficult. You're going to have to cross some sand. The foolish attempt that she wants to tell you about is that somebody did try to do at a high tide. And apparently, according to her, they had some magical spell that allowed them to breathe underwater. However, very sadly, the person was got by Death Pincer, who held them firmly in a grip until their spell ran out, and then they sadly drowned underwater, and that was it. She says that she's been several times. Nobody has succeeded. There has been various levels that have happened. She says you can normally tell where Death Pincer is because of 2 eye stalks. So when he's actually submerged in the sand as low tide happens, there tends to just be 2 eye stalks sticking out of the ground. That sort of like shows where he is. Some people have actually only taken 2 steps when they've been got and crushed. She talks about people being crushed to death in the pincers. There seems to be no eating. It seems to be grab up and then constrict. There was a time that somebody actually got to the ship, and she saw them going almost like down to where the door was, but they never returned at all. And she waited there across the rest of the day, and nothing happened at all. Low tide happens quite early in the morning, about 8 o'clock in the morning. And then high tide is literally sort of like 8 hours later at 4 o'clock. Okay, so there's plenty of time to do things. The only other piece of information that she gives you is that it is rumoured, and she stresses this, that Death Pincer can be controlled, can be pacified by certain food. But she's seen many people try this, but few have succeeded at all. She's happy to answer any individual questions that you have. And just to let you know, she will answer truthfully due to the critical success from Mr. Bartleby.
I have a few questions. Go ahead, matter of fact.
Yeah, I was going to say, going back to the food thing, what's the local source of fish around here and whatnot? Because he's clearly not eating people. He's clearly eating the fish that, or whatever is down there.
Yeah, so the crabs generally, the windvine, the sea product that windvine trades in a lot is actually crustaceans. So crabs and shrimp and things like that. It is rumored that Death Pincer actually eats, is actually a vegetarian, and eats, and kelp and things like that. And that's why you think he's never been, or she's never been observed actually eating. There's, go for it, Bartleby, if you got more questions.
My first question is just confirming that this is like roughly a circular sand area with the wreck in the center.
Correct.
You said. Okay, I just want to make sure. And are those eye stalks armored at all? Or does it seem to have any protection on them? It seems like a strange thing to have poking out of the surface.
Yeah, she thinks some people have tried to hit them.
Right.
And they seem to work very much like snail antennae or slugs. Once hit, they seem to be retracted out. It seems as if it's the way, I mean, they're not out all the time. They come up and down. There seems to be ability to do that, but it tends to be it almost as if it's watching play time.
Yeah.
She does think if you hit an eye stalk, it would have the reverse effect of making it run away.
But if you hit both eye stalks,
it would be incredibly angry, but blinded.
But blinded, yeah.
Yeah.
There is a question, but I'm forgetting what it is.
She's got one. I just pretend you were going to ask this. There seems to be no magical enchantment there. It doesn't look like it's a magical crab or crab being operated by anyone. It seems to be quite a natural setup.
And you're basing this on the sorcerer who could breathe underwater, probably?
Correct.
Because you're not a sorcerer.
No, she's not. No. She's merely a sailor that talks like a farmer.
A little suspicious now, because you're one of the only people who will sail out here.
Yes, she is. She's the other, and she's almost like made it her trade. So now and again, you know, people, the youngsters of the town want to demonstrate their bravery by sailing out there, not to actually kill Death Pincer, but more to almost like knock and run. Do you have knock and run in America?
I think an equivalent where you knock.
We call it ding dong ditch.
Yeah. So often there's a group of youths that. Say again, sorry.
we have another version of here. It's called knock up and run, but
Why are these getting progressively worse?
Yeah.
We did not.
It's supposed to rhyme. It's supposed to rhyme.
Can I please remind you, on YouTube now, I have to say whether or not there's adult content on it.
Just keep clicking yes.
Yeah. What was it? Yeah, so often they have this, they sort of like boast that they're going to spend X amount of time on Death Pincer's island and things like that. And she often takes them out. She does talk to you about almost like a verbal contract, is that she expects a charge, but she's also removed from any damage, or she can't be blamed for anything that happens out there, and her job is to get you there and back. However, if you don't want to come back or you don't need to come back, then that's absolutely fine.
But you're pretty confident in your own survival, Molly.
Yeah, and that's because she gets her boat next to the shallow end of the sandbank. So when you step off the boat, you will be sort of like knee deep in water. And so she never actually docks on the sandbank.
And
I think
feels
three
safe
of us
out
can be
there.
okay with that.
Why-
Yeah, Cyrus, so you'll be up to your neck.
If she's so confident out in the water, why would we need to get on the shore?
She says she's quite
you need to get to
happy.
the ship.
Well, I mean, if we're going to deal with Death Pincer, why not, I don't know, attack from the boat?
Yeah, she's not that happy about that idea, mainly because you're
Yeah.
putting her life in danger and her boat.
Yeah,
Her
but
well-being.
does Death Pincer go off of the island into the water, really? Except during like high tide?
She says that Death Pincer has chased her clientele back towards the boat. There was a situation that one of them actually got back to the boat, and she brought them back. Sadly, he died several days later, and the main reason for this was blood loss.
Yeah, his arm got taken off.
Well, no, both legs.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
So, and she's quite strict about this. She seems to have a dagger on her belt, but it doesn't look like, it looks like it's more of a, to cut apples or something like that. And she's quite strict with you in the sense that she's not engaging in combat. Her job is to get you out there, wait for you to finish, and then if anybody's still left alive, to bring you back.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's fair. I wouldn't expect her to fight. Unless if she had a crossbow.
She says, you do not expect me to fight.
Okay, yeah, because you don't have a crossbow.
You just let you know, Bartleby, you definitely get this feeling, and I'll tell you it because you got a crit. She actually doesn't want Death Pincer killed.
Yeah,
Because
Oh, yeah, because it's her. Yeah.
It's
that's her
bow,
way
isn't
of
it?
making
Yeah.
money.
yeah,
I've got a little note here when I first spoke to her, and I've got do not trust. So I'm not sure
Oh,
if that's
wow.
something I was
Yes.
told or an insight.
that you had an insight roll,
Hmm.
and you had a feeling that she was what's the word, covering up truths, possibly. She was very flamboyant and very over the top and very much
That's-
pirate like, and you sort of like got this feeling that she might be covering something up, but that could possibly be her fear.
Hmm. No,
Hmm.
good.
All right.
Well, that's all the information I think that I need beyond our general battle plan.
That's down to
Any,
Cyrus.
I just in all your viewings of Death Pincher murdering your clientele, um, typically, is there ever a noticeable weakness? Does he have a blind spot? Is he hard to? Does he fast? Is he slow?
She's not a combat expert, but she does say that when she's been sending people, transporting people out to the dune, people have talked about flipping the crab over or striking at its underbelly. She says if it's normally like any crab, it's got a hard outer shell on top, but quite soft underneath.
That's where you put the butter. All right.
When it kills people, it's primarily using its pincers, right? Not like shoving them in its gross crab mouth.
Yeah, it's definitely not eating. It's definitely
but no biting either. So it's not like
not that she's seen. Although she has left several humans that appear to be dead on the beach, on the dune, and they're not there the next day. They probably get washed out to sea.
Yeah, it's not normal for crabs to be poisonous or venomous.
Yeah, it's not. And well, she can tell you that Death Pincer is not poisonous because of the guy who came back without his legs. There was no poison. He literally died of excessive blood loss.
Makes sense.
Mainly because they probably don't have a medic or a theist of your, or sorcerer of your caliber to stench.
Most likely.
Yeah,
I would have fixed that immediately or stabilized.
Yeah,
just stabilized. Those are two major wounds.
Yes, nothing more than someone without legs in medieval times. What a lucky fella if you saved him.
So, yeah, go for it. I was just going to summarize.
Yeah, summarize essentially. I have one little plan. Before we get a little closer, at least spot him, but from there it's gonna be tough.
Okay, so basically, to summarize all that together, Molly will take you out to the sand dune when you will get off her boat into knee-deep water on the edge of the sand dune. You will then have to cross the sand dune to the center of it to get to the boat. And then there seems to be a door or something on the boat that needs to be open to go into its innards. And somewhere in there, you hope there is the copy of the map.
Yeah, we got a lot of literate people in this group, so we'll be able to sift through the paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would have thought I'd be able to read a map with my mine's trail signs, isn't it? Sorry.
Yeah.
We're looking for a specific name of this map.
It's likely
maybe if you write it down on a piece of paper, we could take that piece of paper with us and go
and match it up.
There it is. I mean, handwriting first off might be a little funny, but also I don't have any paper or ink.
You could purchase that. You can purchase
that back in Lindo, but I mean, so could have you. You could have, Cyrus.
But we should have that because remember I was transcribing and translating from the book.
Well, I don't remember. I remember telling you to go transcribe it yourself.
I thought you did it.
I said I don't want to commit crimes in Lindo, and I don't think that that's something.
What a pussy.
I said you're literate. Why don't you do it?
I said I get the gist of things. All right. There's one thing I would like to do before nighttime hits. We all do the sleep plane and we go out. I would like to get probably buy like a net. And I'm gonna get a whole bunch of turn into some sort of sea like a penguin or something. And
sorry, you want to get. You want to
I want to collect a whole bunch of seaweed, essentially.
You want to get a net? Is that the first thing that you said? Like a fishing net?
Like a fishing net. I'll purchase a fishing net. I'm
Okay.
gonna get a whole bunch of seaweed and collect it into the net. Collect a whole bunch of seaweed to put it in the net.
Okay. So we're at the night time now, aren't we? That's what we decided. So it's absolutely fine to do it, but you'll need to take probably a day to get that ready. Well, it's probably not as long as a day. It's probably about half a day, but you would then miss the start of low tide. So, but that would just mean that you just need to stay in Windvine another day before you go out.
Are you guys
Question.
against this? Yeah.
Couldn't you just get the net and hopefully like trawl it behind you while we're going to?
Is it for sort of like camouflage, so you can pretend that you're a seaweed?
No, something
vegetarian,
a little more interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a plan with it. Let's see if it works. But yeah.
Okay, then.
I need a whole bunch of seaweed, and I think that makes sense.
So are we going to delay going out to the island one more day in short?
I think so.
It would benefit me as well because I need to gather as much magic points as possible.
You're at full, aren't you?
Huh?
It should be at
Should we
full.
start this session out with Inwell saying everybody's magic?
Yeah.
Full?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, then we're good then. Because I was depleted.
Okay, so throughout you head off to bed, and then throughout the next day, there seems to be the rumor of you going out to Death Pincer Island starts to spread around Windvine, and there seems to be Cyrus, as you and probably Hasra, because you probably normally go together, are heading down to the seafront to see if you can purchase a net. It seems that news is traveling quickly, and some people, the younger generation or the teenagers, are sort of like pointing at you and in awe and wonder, and they're sort of like saying, we would like to be with them, like them. They're so brave. Some of the women just sort of like burst into tears and look sadly at you, and one rushes up to you, Hasra, and seems to give you a rather worn stone that is quite smooth, and she sort of like hands it to you, Hasra, and says, take this. This is my lucky stone. I give it to you, for you need it more than I do.
Oh, why, thank you, Mistress. I will take care of it, and when I come back, I shall give it to you back.
And you mentioned coming back, and she just bursts into tears and sort of like goes scurrying off, and the men...
Do I see a little familiar face of Stan?
No.
What are you doing? Go back to your
No, and you sort of like you head down to the seafront and you inquire of the fishermen to buy a net, and obviously news has travelled here, and they give you a net, and the old sea sailor sort of like says, this'll be my best net ever, and sort of like hands it over to you, and it's about nearly sort of like 3 meters square. It looks like it's weighted at the corners, if that makes sense. So it's much more of a sort of like fling it out net, and it'll sink and then trawl it in. And he sort of like says, I have catch many a lucky fish with that. It will serve you well. And somebody sort of like next to him and says, not looking at you two, says, did you just give him your best net? No, don't be silly. I gave him the old one. Yeah, it will serve you well. And you head off with your net. I presume you're going down to the seafront to get seaweed. Is that the...
Yeah, I'm seaweed.
Yeah,
seaweed and kelp, and well, not kelp, but a whole bunch of vegetation and whatnot that might not be on the sandbar anymore.
Yeah. Okay then. So you, Hasra, you with Cyrus? Yeah.
I'll go with him. It'll be an interesting thing to do.
Yeah. So if you remember, more to the northeast of the of Windvine, that's where you start to get the cliffs and the wave cut platforms with the kelp on it. So you sort of like head over to there and start collecting kelp. Sorry. And what's the plan, Cyrus? Are you tying it onto the net? What are you going to do with it?
So I'm gonna like it's a big bag, but the only reason why I'm doing a net is because I want it see through. I want to be able for him to see what's inside it.
Okay.
So if I get a bunch of it, it should stay intact. And in the middle, I'm gonna put the bomb.
Okay.
And then when he gets closer, he's like, ooh, food. Starts going at it, light the match, run out.
Nice. Okay, then. Yeah. So you two are busy collecting kelp. Bartleby.
Very good thinking.
And Bartleby and Rohan, what are you doing?
Bartleby's is very simple. He's doing the proper thing and using his bureaucracy skill that he definitely has trained. He's getting his 2 minions to help get the idea of starting the church here. We need to get a property. We need to get
Sam and Decker.
Sam and Decker. Yeah, I refuse to remember their names. It's a power thing. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I want to get them started on getting an area for our temple to be built here, or at least get a shrine to start with. So that's what Bartleby would be doing in this time off.
Okay, what about Rohan?
Rohan's gonna wander around and try to distract himself while, kind of
considering his death.
Anticipating how bad it's gonna go.
Okay. So Rohan sort of like is milling around the town, looking at various stores, talking to the local villagers, and they have great admiration for you, Rohan, that you're going to rid them. And various of them saying, well, I don't know what Molly Squaresail will be doing if this. And they're sort of like a bit of friendly banter. But Bartleby, something happens while you're in the tavern talking to Sam and Decker, your acolyte. And all of a sudden, the tavern doors burst open. And a rather young lad who seems to be incredibly out of breath bursts into the tavern and seems to look around and catches the eye of Darth, who's the owner of the Green Dragon Tavern. And he sort of like looks across and he utters the words, She has returned. And Darth sort of like looks at this boy and sort of like says, What do you mean? And he looks at, he said, one of those priests who took the children are back. And a hush falls over the tavern at that point.
Can I loudly say, what?
Yeah, one of them has returned. She looked rather cross.
Where is she?
We're gonna murder this.
He says, she's coming here.
Yes.
Well, I better get my allies. We're at the beach.
We're at the beach.
We're having a nice frolic at the beach.
Yeah.
As a murder is possibly happening right in the middle of town.
I want to rush out to like the street level to see if I can see any of my friends to back me up here.
Okay.
Grasping my staff very nervously.
So as you get to the door and you get to sort of like the corner of the building here, and just at roughly the same time, Rohan, you're over on this side, and you see somebody walking down the street. She appears to be. You can't see her arms. Okay, she seems to be walking, and there seems to be almost like a mantle of feathers, if that makes sense. It seems to be like a cloak, but across the front and down the side, there's it's all made up of feathers, and her arms seem to be inside this. The other thing that you notice as she walks, there appears to be, as they walk, she walks, sorry, the dust around them around her feet seems to be agitated, as if there's some kind of current of air around her as she walks. She seems to be very purposefully walking, and you can see that the majority of the villagers are sort of like bowing their heads and dashing for their houses, and a lot of them seem to be grabbing children and sort of like bringing them in as quickly as possible. And yeah, she's coming down. Rohan and Bartleby, you can see her. She seems to be heading in your direction.
Oh, shit.
Well, I will stand in her way then.
Ooh.
Step into the path.
You shall
What's
not
happening?
pass.
Yeah, please, you shall not pass. Let me just get her character sheet up.
Yeah, and I need a cool thing to say when I step out there.
Have you heard the word?
Oh.
So you step out, and she sort of like gets a general distance away from you. She's staying out of combat range, and she sort of like looks you up and down, and she unfolds the cloak, and it sort of like cascades over her shoulders, and she seems to be wearing some kind of armor. She definitely has armor on. The other thing that you notice is that she seems to have a chest harness on that seems to be have attached to it almost. You first think it's like rib protection, but then you notice it's a series of almost like fine stiletto blades down both sides of her harness, and they don't look like fighting knives. They look more like chucking knives. And she brings it round, and the first thing that you notice, Bartleby, is that there seems to be a vortex around her of wind, and she sort of like unfurls herself and almost like, almost like tries to shrug her shoulders to relax somewhat. And she looks you up and down and says, "And you are?"
I am the enemy of your goddess.
And she looks at you. She just goes, oh, 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 oh. The enemy of my goddess sent you?
Yes.
I am the taxman.
Were you the bottom of the barrel or the slightly one up?
Yeah, slightly one up, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to let you into this town. You are not welcome here.
She sort of like looks around. She says, "I hate to tell you this. I'm already in the town."
Well, then I'm asking you to leave without any bloodshed.
You would like me to leave?
Well, yeah.
And the reason for this is
Your people have been stealing children from this town?
they are our children.
What do you mean they're your children?
This town was founded long ago in ancient past by our religious group. Technically, just like you have a congregation for your church, these are our congregation.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there seems to be quite a bit that you don't know.
Can I think in my head, because I have the history skill, is there any way I could... Well, I think I already asked to do this in a prior session. I wanted to fact check her in my mind, but I don't know if I can.
Fact checker. Tell me what you would like out of your... Do you is it like an insight to say...
Yeah, it's like I want to use basically an insight to with a little bit of historical knowledge, perhaps, to be like, is she telling the truth? Was the congregation...
Okay then, so roll your insight. You're not too sure. Your history knowledge is mainly based in Lindo rather than here. And although she seems to be, it seems logical.
Yeah, it does. It makes sense with the laws of Lindo.
Yeah, it definitely seems logical.
But
Rohan, if there's anything that you want to do, just pipe up when you want to do it.
Can I use sleight to, like secretly pull out a dagger?
Yeah, I mean, her attention is not based on you. It seems to be completely based on Bartleby at the moment. So you can draw a dagger. That's not a problem.
Okay, so, and I don't have to roll anything to conceal it from her. Or
No,
anything?
not at all. She seems to be quite blasé about everything, and she seems to just be laughing at Bartleby at the moment.
Well, that's good. He deserves to be laughed at.
Oh, that would hurt if Bartleby knew that.
She turns to you and says, "Is there anything else you need, or can I continue on my business with my congregation?"
Well, I'm curious then, because your congregation doesn't really seem too willing. Why not just ask them to move if they didn't want to be a part of your group
circle?
Of course they want to be part of the congregation. She looks around and says, "It seems to me that they're all still here. If they did not want to be part of the congregation, then do you not think they would have left? They could have fled. They could have walked out into the wilderness. They could have set sail across the dangerous seas. But no, they remain because they are my or our congregation."
Huh. Well, it's kind of hard to argue with that. That does make sense. Their boats leaving all the time. And Lindo, no offense, is a much more thriving town than Windvine.
Her interest peaks.
Ugh.
And she says, "Lindo, tell me of Lindo."
It blows. There we go. There, another fish.
It's like this, but it's got 2 ports.
So it's bigger.
Well, obviously.
And the congregation in that city?
We have a number of congregations. It's not all one set religion.
Is it bigger than this, than our congregation here?
Well, it's difficult to say, because if everybody in this town is of your congregation, and if only a fraction of Lindo is in each given congregation, merchant gods, the god of the sun, if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah, who knows?
She looks at you and says, "You bore me. Our discussion is over." She says, "Move aside. You're in my way."
Welcome to the club.
Successfully bored my enemy to death. Yeah, I'm a little stumped here, and so
You need the snarky remarks.
I
She says, her tone slightly changes, and she says, "Move aside."
yeah, I'll move aside after a brief pause, just kind of scratching my head, waiting for her to try and stab me.
Yeah, and she seems to look around, and she seems to be sort of like, if I just draw, I'll just draw it on roughly. She seems to be sort of like looking around this area backwards and forwards. And she sort of like looks around. She sees you out the corner of her eye. And she says, I will probably see you at a later date. She says, I have found what I was looking for. And she makes her way over to here. And she goes over to a door, and she pushes the door inwards. And then there seems to be some muttering, a bit of screaming, people saying, no, no. And she sort of like seems to beckon in the house. And you sort of like hear her, she seems to be saying something like, if you don't, you know what will happen, so forth and so on. And then eventually this guy hands over to her what appears to be a child, probably about 12 years old. And the acolyte looks down at her and says, don't worry, you will be fine. Come, hold my hand, and we can journey to peace and freedom.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
Bartleby's going to go on the
Please
offensive
do.
here. I can't just. This is going to be my suicide mission.
I
would like to cast 2 spells.
Okay. So cast your first one, and then we'll get that out the way, and then we're going to another one.
Oh my Lord Almighty, heaven on earth!
How could you fail?
Because my goddess is probably like, oh, maybe you shouldn't get involved with this. No, this is messed up. I'm dive bombing it.
So you cast your shield
Sacrificing
spells. Yeah, Rohan, what was it that you wanted to do?
Can I move up right next to Bartleby?
Yeah, by all means.
I mean, I'm moving up to the doorway, ideally.
Okay, so you cast your spell first, and then you can start to move up to the doorway. And you sort of like cast your spell just on yourself, I'm assuming, Bartleby, and then you notice...
Can only be me.
Yeah, then you notice Rohan at your side, and you both make purposeful roll walking towards her, I take it. Is that the plan? Or are you staying at range?
I'm rushing over to the doorway to point my hand at her and cast a shock spell.
Okay, then. So can you both either make, it's up to you, you can either use an endurance check or an evade check. It's totally up to you which one you use. But you have to tell me before you roll it. It's not... Oh, no. Endurance from Bartleby.
Evade?
Yeah. Okay, then. Roll away.
Mine? Ooh. Ooh. That's my second 4 of the evening.
I'll use a luck point here.
Yeah, to re-roll it.
Yes. That was an absolutely terrible roll.
That's even worse.
You could have just reversed it to rather rolling again.
Yeah, so yeah. So as you start walking towards her, she sort of like almost like senses you there, and she's holding out her hand to this young girl who you notice seems to be quite mesmerized by her and is walking towards her and sort of like shrugs off. And as she sees you both coming up, she, out the corner of her eye, she doesn't look at you, she goes like that with her hand, and suddenly you both feel almighty gust of wind that buffets straight into you. You maybe, Bartleby, some part of your shield spell protects you against it, and you notice it pressing on your shield as you sort of like manage to withstand the gust of wind. And this is sort of like a like that. And you notice at the same time that Rohan, who was actually stood next to you, seems to be back some considerable distance and is prone on the ground. So Rohan, you were sort of like moving forward, and then she went like that, and that you just felt this huge gust of wind just hit you and knock you off your feet and make you travel about 5 meters or more away. And at that point, the girl has joined hands with the acolyte. Okay, Bartleby.
I wanted to point at her and punish her through the power of Amriel. You can't steal children.
Go for it.
Please. And
Shock her right in the face.
Yeah, but you can electrocute them.
I'm trying to roll extremely well here, which is unfortunate because it's all luck.
Hey!
No, that's really, really good. And you fire off your shock spell,
which makes a loud cracking noise.
Yeah, there's this almighty cracking sound as it comes down, and it seems to be almost like going to hit her square in the head. But as your prayer, I mean, this is not the power of your goddess. It seems to come down and hit what appears to be a spell that's around her. It almost like separates out over this whirling wind that's around her, as if it's actually protecting her. And this seems to rile her, and she just turns around and points at you. Okay, can you please roll for me an evade?
Well, I could just say this hits.
No,
You
don't.
didn't call it. You didn't call it, yeah. It's a good call.
It hits.
Yeah. How much protection does your shield give you?
I'm basically invulnerable in the
17
eyes of Amriel, but it gives me 11.
11 points. Okay.
It does not stack on armor.
Lame.
So it's 11.
That's fine.
3d6.
So
Oh, yeah.
all of a sudden, from the sky, this lightning bolt. It's not a shock spell. This is a full lightning bolt. And she goes, points at you, and it just cascades straight down from the sky and whacks you. You don't even see it coming, and it whacks into your 9.
Oh, my abdomen!
Yeah, she gets you straight in there. So, and you will take a point. Did you say 11? It stops 11?
Yeah, I take a point of stomach burns.
Yeah, so you actually feel this electricity hit you. And yes, Rohan, you can get up if you wish now.
Can I just... Sorry.
I sure would like to get up.
Yeah. Okay, then. Yes, Medivac, you want to say something?
No, don't worry. It's fine.
Okay, and in her next turn, she seems to envelop the girl in her cloak. Does that make sense? And almost like, and she seems to crouch momentarily, and then she lifts herself. And as she lifts herself, pure black feathered wings seem to spring out from her body, and almost bigger than a raven. Bigger. This doesn't look like a normal bird happening. She just unfurls them and jumps up into the air, and her wings unfurl. And the other thing that you, both Rohan and Bartleby, you notice, there's no child. If that makes sense. The child's not held in talons or anything like that. It seems the child seems to be absorbed by the magic, almost a bit like when Cyrus is wearing something and turns into a bird, everything gets absorbed into the spell. And she just takes off. And Bartleby, you are amazed by how quickly she flies. Faster than anything that you've ever seen. The huge wings just beat, and in a second she's up and flying. And as that happens, and she sort of like goes out, the mother of the daughter comes out from the room and shouts at her. She shouts the girl's name, which is Daisy, and she goes, Daisy! And screams and just collapses on the floor to be consoled by her husband. And that seems to be a good place us to take a quick 10-minute break. Is that agreeable?
For me?
Yeah. So we'll be back on the hour. So so is that all right? So we'll be back for 9 o'clock, yeah? And then we will then pick up as Cyrus and I like how you do your groups, by the way. It makes I really like that. And don't worry, Rohan, only Bartleby saw it, and I'm sure he won't mention it.
I might have brain damage secretly from that lightning bolt.
That lightning bolt.
I was going to say, you will be well ripped if it does it like a few more times on your abs.
Yeah. I was just interested that one of the rolls was a 1.
And that would have given me a major wound if I had no armor.
Yeah.
I would have 5 points in my belly.
There you go. So we're going to take a quick 10-minute break, and when we come back, we'll see whether or not the party are brave enough to go to the island, or whether or not they're going to alter their plan and head off in a different direction. Only time will tell. Come back in 10 minutes, dead on the hour, and we'll see you then. See you real soon.
I'll be dead in an hour.
Turn me on and turn you on.
Oh, baby.
Thank you. Hasra and Cyrus, when you are coming back from your beach trip with your kelp and everything, you notice that in the dock area, the mood seems to have changed. Well, when you were going out, they seemed to be all sort of like saying, oh, they're going to save us from the world. You sort of like get the feeling that there's some aggression towards you. And you notice that there's several little groups of children and families sort of like huddling together, crying, and you get this feeling as you walk through the town back to the tavern or just outside the tavern that they're saying things like, another one has been taken, we don't know what we're going to do, another one, and it was just taken off our street. And you get this feeling that another child has been taken, and you sort of like come up to this area where you find Bartleby and Rohan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to make a beeline to Bartleby. What has happened, Bartleby?
What'd you do?
There are people here who are concerned and almost angry.
Hasra and Cyrus, you do notice that there's a burnt bit of tunic round Bartleby's stomach area. It's probably still smouldering a bit as well.
His hair's a bit zingy.
Yeah. Ultra
Hey,
frizzy.
took yourself lunch again?
One of the sorcerers or sorceresses or
Acolyte.
acolyte of. Sorry, I got a little jumbled there. I didn't remember the proper word. We are outgunned. The acolyte, just one acolyte of this harpy queen is powerful.
Yeah. You've killed powerful things before. Yeah, you're fine.
And
Why
they
didn't you stop
believe
her?
that they have the right to take people from this land, that they are owed it, and that the people here stay because they accept these terms.
But then why are they angry if they accept what is happening to them?
Well, they don't leave. They could go to Lindo. That right?
That's right. They could leave and get away from this place to safety. But
Yeah, but
yet
they
they
don't.
wait like sheep for us to come and fix their problems, which I do not mind. It's like why be angry with us if they are doing nothing? Did parents fight back?
You're too scared to.
There was
And if they leave,
they fought as much as they could, but I'm telling you the truth is there's the acolyte is extremely powerful. Rohan, you might have seen.
please, Rohan, back me up on this.
Rohan's like covered in dirt,
Yeah.
from getting thrown around into the dirt.
Her powers are able to break through my protection from Amriel.
But
I can't imagine what they would do to the flesh of any of you with just an afterthought. She said that perhaps I was a bottom of the barrel choice to be her enemy.
no,
I'm starting to think she might be right.
you're not the bottom of the barrel. I cannot understand though if she's
Yeah,
some
one
mighty
step above.
sorceress that.
you're at least mid-barrel.
How is she able to cast these spells? I've seen you do things where you do something big and it takes you time to do it.
Hasra, roll your selfless protect passion.
I've got so many passions.
I'm so passionate.
Oh,
I
Bartleby,
would have thrown myself. No, but
and Bartleby, you feel
Damn.
really reassured by Hasra and his words really sort of like resonate with you, and you sort of like you start to sort of like think, well, maybe she wasn't that powerful. Remember what Hasra, and also this idea that, you know, don't put yourself down as an acolyte of Amriel, that, you know, maybe, I mean, your goddess did protect you from 11 points.
All of like if we went against 5 of these acolytes.
do you think it is like that creature that we dispatched, and it wasn't her power she was using? It's like when you call your goddess to magic. It makes funny buzzing noises in my head, but it's like when you put your mistress comes through you and gives you power. Perhaps that way, because Cyrus here, he's a great and powerful sorcerer, but like I say, it takes him an eon when I'm fighting to cast a spell.
Sometimes it takes me a little while to, to get a little pumped up, a little,
And you're saying that
But it gets
this
up.
woman just literally called down this lightning from the sky instantly, like this.
And a powerful wave of wind.
Sorry.
So this was
Well,
not the
okay.
Acolyte.
Maybe I could have worded that better. But at the moment.
oh my.
She didn't even look at me. I was like an ant to her. She looked at Bartleby, probably because he was like more like a spider.
And then pushed out her gust against you.
Yeah.
But you didn't have the two strongest members of the party, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think we may be going down a path where
We
some
need
of us
this-
might die.
We need this thing that we are looking for to even things out, and if we can get to this Chahelia and dispatch her, then all the power to these acolytes will go. Would they not?
I'm
Is it-
willing.
Is it like an anthill and she's a queen ant and she's giving all her power to these ants?
Bartleby, that is correct. If you remember, there's Chahelia managed to pierce a little hole in the prison wall that she reached out, and so that the powers that these acolytes have, just like your powers, come directly from their goddess. And to say, although I know things like which is your folk magic spell that you cast?
The sparkly
Bartleby.
fingers one.
Bartleby, what did you cast? A folk magic spell?
Yeah, the sparkly
Shock
fingers.
against
Shock,
that-
yeah.
that one just like
So even those, well, they're sort of like prayers from your goddess. They would be, folk magic would be similar prayers for other religions as well. So if their goddess is destroyed or re-banished, then they would lose their power. There is something, Bartleby, that sits unwell with you, in the sense that it's this thing about the children of the village. That's the bit that seems so alien to you, and also getting the feeling about the Dark Stalker. What are they using these children for? What is actually happening out there?
That is the part that specifically alarms me. Yes,
Did-
that they have a lot more children, Deathstalker monster zombie dogs, and
And I was going to say, that's the thing we worked out, didn't we? The fact that they are using the children for power.
Yeah,
It's a Duracell battery.
correct.
But they only have so many children to murder, and then we're good to go.
that is a typical Cyrus's logic. If we give them all the children and they've used them all, then that's fine.
Why don't we just kill the children in the village and everyone else? No. I would never say that.
That's a plan I'm in on. Let's go.
how did that was my day. How was your beach trip?
It was great. Every weekend for Captain Kangaroo.
Cyrus holds up this net that's got a whole load of kelp hanging from it. So this is what we created.
And I found in some shisha. Maybe I'm
Hey,
the
in future, in future, if you're ever in trouble, yell for kelp.
I tried to make a loud noise with my.
You did, and I saw the logic in that.
Yeah,
Help me. Also, don't touch me. Spell.
I knew to run back here if I heard a woman scream, but I'm glad that you somehow managed to.
You probably did hear it, but thought it was distant thunder.
That's true. That's probably.
Always on the thunder. I might need help.
Yeah. Right, let's get to this boat. I
Let's do it.
think. We need to get this item off the ship,
Had one failure today. We're not
or
gonna
this
have
map off the ship, should I
two.
say?
Okay, then. So this is the end of the day, and so you're sleeping, ready to go out in low tide the next day. And just so you feel or sense the general mood in Windvine, it's gone from something that was very positive to something, not anger, almost like hopelessness. And you hear mutters, and the general feeling is beforehand it was almost like this group defeated the Harpies. Now it's more this group did not kill the Acolyte. And it's not that they're angry with you. It's almost like they're disappointed, upset. Yeah. They're not angry. They're just very disappointed. Yeah.
Worse, Mom. Sorry.
But it's not blame. It doesn't come across as blame. It comes across as if they didn't have hope before, then they had hope, and now that hope is gone. It's not a feeling of you are weak, you couldn't defeat it. It's this sense that if they couldn't defeat them, how is this going to end?
It's helplessness.
Yeah. And even the tavern, you sort of like, you stay down and sort of like have drinks and food. There's this unnerving, unusual silence in it. There's no sort of like bard entertaining in the corner. People seem to be muttering what they want to drink, and there's this air of sadness and hopelessness. And the next morning, you sleep very well, and you finish off.
Clean conscience.
Yeah.
To use like a heal before I
Oh yeah, you've only got 1 point, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can heal that up the day before, so you still get your magic points through the night. You notice that a couple of periwinkles climb out of your kelp net that obviously came up and sort of like crawled along the floor. But apart from that, the night sleep was quite uneventful, and you meet Molly Squaresail down at the dock the next day, and she sort of like senses that something's amiss, and as you approach her boat, she says, "Is something wrong?"
Yeah, it looks like Amarillo can't protect us all.
You know, the Dansford lost another child yesterday. It's very sad, but as soon as we complete this, what we need to do, it will help us stop the evil that is happening to your village.
And she says, "So you were not able to stop them?"
Unfortunately, myself and my colleague here weren't there to help, and Mr. Bartleby, although very powerful, he is a priest of peace. And Rohan here, again, a very stealthy person, but he is not a magic user. He just apparently this acolyte caught them unawares.
Yeah, and you sort of like get into the boat as you're talking to her. Hasra, roll your insight, since you're engaging with the discussion with her.
Like insight. No. I want to take forever. No.
Yeah, yeah. I just don't know whether or not you were going to look at, that's all.
No. I'm too busy with my mind on what's happening today.
And she sort of like talks to you and sort of like asks you questions, but seems to be very interested in the whole affair. And after a while, quite quite a distance out of Windvine. So it's outside the area of the dock. So it takes you a good hour, an hour and a half with the sail. Obviously, she's sailing into the wind. So she's doing a strange tacking motion to get out there. And eventually, you actually see the mast sticking up. It seems to be cracked and bent over. Let me just move you on to Crab Island.
The death map.
Can you see that?
Mm.
Yes.
Okay, so you can see the boat in the middle. That's where the actual boat is. Everything's roughly to scale, so you can see how small you are compared to the boat. The first thing that I would like to know is where on the island do you give Molly the instructions, or is there something you want to do when you first get here?
Hearing about these stalks sticking up, could I have a look as we come into the island to see if I can see any stalks sticking up? And if so, I want to try to get us to land at the opposite side of the boat.
Okay, yeah, so you get Molly to sort of like...
I do actually have a plan with
circle.
that. I might assist with the perception. I was wondering if I can turn myself into a hawk, and hopefully, as a hawk, I can be able to
probably
find stuff.
a seagull might be a better choice.
Better choice in this. Okay.
And then if there's anybody with chips, you can just dive on them. Yeah, so
Let's carry that in it.
you need to roll some skills to turn into hawk. So I presume you're using your point of shaping to increase the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then. So it'll be one magic point to cast it, one for changing the time, and you need to make an invocation.
Why can't you just turn to a bird, fly to the ship, go inside, and then turn to a bird and come back?
I could, but I'm assuming there's going to be some stuff in there we need to get. That's more than I can carry. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
seems too simple.
Too simple. Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice one. You turn into a seagull and you sort of like start flying around, and at the same time, maybe in the opposite direction, Hasra, you get Molly to take the boat round the other way. And when you come back, Cyrus, is there anything else you want to do before you circle? So you're circling around, you're looking for eye stalks. And because once you get back to the boat, you'll change back, and then that'll be the spell ended. So if there's anything else that you need to do, let me know.
Well, I do want to make sure that, I guess the seaweed, the big thing of seaweed is with us. The bombs already placed with the thing already out, so that way when it gets close enough, I can light it. If while I'm circling around anyways, I might as well see if I can notice anything in the boat. That stands out a bit.
Okay.
So I'm assuming I should be rolling a perception of some sort.
Yeah. You can roll me a perception skill for that.
Don't forget to go mine.
Mine.
Is that Finding Nemo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine.
Guess what? I'm using my first point of luck of the night.
28, yeah.
To reverse it.
Okay. Anything else that you want to do before you head back?
I just want to perceive if I can. Nothing really, I guess. Oh, wait. You know what? You're right. I should do something. No way. I can do it before. Okay. So I'm going to spot him first. You're right. I'm going to spot him first. If I spot him, then I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to buff everyone up in the party.
Okay, so that's all right. So we don't need to do the buffing as of yet. So you fly around, and Hasra, you take or ask Molly to circumvent the island. So just so you all know, can you see this flat bit down here?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That is the approach to Windvine. Okay, so you're sort of like approaching from the bottom of the screen up to that side of the island. The island on the opposite side is going out to sea. And Hasra, you know, when the boat gets close, you can start perceiving. Just roll your perception check.
No!
Oh, what?
I'm blind.
Do you know what's worse? I don't even get to put a tick in for that, do I?
Why not?
It's not 100, is it?
No, a roll of a 99 or 100 always fumbles.
Oh, there we go.
Well, actually, it's more than that. I think it's 98 to 100. But if your skill's over 100, no, that's right, 99 and 100. But if your skill is over 100, it's always just 100. That's fumbles.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you have a look around. You circumvent the whole.
Bit of sea spray comes up and splashes.
Yeah, and you sort of like keep. You almost like doing a Titanic on the what's the front of a boat called?
Bow.
Bow. What's a prow then? Is a prow something different? Yeah. Anyway, you're sort of like at the front end of the boat, keeping an eye out, and when you come back round and Cyrus transforms, Hasra, you haven't seen anything, any eye stalks at all, but Cyrus, you have. Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and
So, you know, a prow and a bow are the same thing.
are they? Thank you. Did you look that up? So just to let you know, Cyrus,
Mm-hmm.
I've put 2 eye stalks on. Can you see them?
That's a big buddy.
Yeah, so those are where the eye stalks that you saw. And just to let you know, when you circle round, and I'm giving you this information now so the rest of the party has it as well, there does indeed seems to be in the inside of the boat. So once you get to the boat, the inside of it, there seems to be a cabin door, a double cabin door. But from what you saw up on high, if you remember, Molly was saying that it was sealed shut as far as she knows, but it's not. Okay, it's slightly ajar, and we don't want anybody saying, I thought you said it was a door.
Slightly ajar.
Because it's a jar.
Yeah. So, that's a joke, isn't it? When is a door not a door? When it's a jar.
Oh, those Christmas crackers.
Yeah, we love that. So yeah, the cabin door looks to be open.
Okay.
So whereabouts would you like to park the ship, dock the boat?
It's the same distance from here. Same distance. Okay.
Uh,
It's the same
I'd-
distance regardless.
I'd rather be here, or even here, just so we've got the ship between us and those eyes.
Mhm.
And if we walk with an irregular pattern, it won't know we're there.
The sandworms won't see us.
Yes.
It's a nice beat to do like a paradiddle up and down.
So is the plan to get into the bit of the water and wade up at that end?
I'm going to leave everything to Cap. He's a tactician.
Yeah, you do have the tactics and strategy skill.
You do, which you can roll if you wish.
Ooh, let's roll it. See if I can figure out the best way to approach this.
Please be a fumble.
Let's see. How dare you?
Round in circles.
The tension. What?
What's with all the 90s? Like all day, all of us are getting 90s across the board.
I mean, I've been.
Just
getting
give us like a
40s.
50 somewhere.
It's all my fault. It's Shard late. It's all my fault.
Yeah. And Mr. Pickles wasn't late. He always thought he was going to be late, but he wasn't.
I got 2 4s. You know.
Are you going?
So,
Are you going point of luck?
I could like it's the time of the day that I would. So I just feel like I don't want to keep like using my luck to save us. There can be failures sometimes.
Do you want to luck it or not?
Yeah, I'll luck it. Screw it.
Okay then. So when Hasra sort of like suggests where the boat is docked, you completely agree with that. You're not too sure that zigzagging will help. As far as you're aware, the crabs don't react to vibrations or anything like that. But you do consider walking maybe in single file might be the best. Either single file or really spread out. In this
Single file will hide our numbers.
Yeah, but spread out will provide multiple targets.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
I
then
do feel like
you said that you wanted to cast a spell, by the way.
yes, I want to cast 2 spells actually.
Yeah.
All right. This is a big. First spell is bypass armor, and that's going to be on my weapon. This I think probably Hasra's scimitar.
That's spear.
Okay, spear, and then the knives. So it'll be 3.
Okay.
And I can do touch too, so that way I don't have to use shaping for that.
Yeah, so it'll be just set to the number of minutes of your power, because you're not doing that. Extra targets, you're going up to 3. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And power, I'll probably, because my power right now is 14, so maybe triple that.
Okay. So up to 56 minutes or 42 minutes?
28 plus 42 minutes, fine.
42. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's, and what about magnitude? How?
It should.
It's magnitude of.
Some magnitudes.
It's a magnitude of 1, so it would be very easy to dispel it. But I mean, you're not really imagining a crab is going to dispel anything at the moment, so you probably leave it at 1.
Yeah, I leave it at 1. Because I'm not worried about dispelling it. The lady said that it had magical effects.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this is bypass armor. It costs you 3 power points, so knock those 3 off, and then roll your invocation.
Come on, baby, give me the good stuff. Yes.
Yeah. So Rohan and Hasra and Cyrus, make sure you make a note that you have bypass armor on. What's the other spell that you would like to do?
And then the other spell would be on all 4 of us, and I could do a touch for that too. The big group hug for this one. That's going to be damage resist.
Yeah. Okay then. So that again will be 3 power points coming off. And yeah, so roll your invocation for that as well.
Come on, baby. Yeah, I get stronger.
Okay then. So make sure that you go. So that's 6 power points gone at this point. Yeah. Okay then. So yeah, tell me, people. The time now, by the way, England is 21:31. Can you see the pattern there? I like patterns like that. Well done, Bartleby. I thought that was a cup and saucer now, but I can see that you've got What's that? Is that damage resist, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I put on for the damage resist.
Yeah. Is Bartleby doing any spells before you head off into battle?
Yes.
Is it a 7/7 for your damage resist? Sorry, again.
Yeah,
was-
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 points.
I'd like to give Blade Sharp to the scimitar. No, to the spear. Because I think that it can still be there with
Yeah, we can have Blade Sharp on there. That's not a problem.
And I'd also like to use Amriel's vision because I don't trust everybody to see any magic in the area.
Okay, then.
That's 2 points off.
Yeah, you. There seems to be, apart from the magic on your people, there does seem to be a faked magical glow on the boat.
Like the boat itself, or coming from within the boat?
Yeah,
radiating from the wood?
coming sort of like from inside it. The boat itself is not magical, but it probably ties up with Cyrus's doorway, and it seems to be emanating from there. At this distance, it's very faint. You can't really tell if it's your magic, as in theist magic or divine magic or sorcerer, but there's definitely a hum of something there. But the rest of the place, there's nothing.
Okay, one last spell then. I want to put my hands on Hasra's shoulders and give him the blessing of my goddess.
And give him a
He is
hug.
the self protector, and you're going to be going into this combat, and I want you to know that you will be watched with this.
Nice.
Yeah.
You have a shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess if it's passive blocking for setting at that, the only thing that you could be hit on is your left arm.
Okay. We'll remember
really
that.
good.
Take off my devotion pool and stand back.
Okay then. Yeah. So do you want to either decide on a marching order if you go in single file, or sort of like I put yourself in single file. I'll know you haven't started to march across or anything like that. Or if you're going to walk across, spread out, sort of like decide on the line of squares, sort of like on the diagonal one here. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So like from there down to here, if you're going to spread out, whatever you would like to do, get yourself.
I think both Hasra and I should hold ends of the net, so that way if he gets close, we can throw it towards him.
Well,
Okay.
I'm going to be at front going first anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are
way
you
we'll
going
just
single file?
Row further.
I think that might be the best idea, single file.
Okay. So do you want to get yourself into some kind of marching order?
I can't move my guy.
What do you think,
On
Cyrus?
the ruler tool. You need to go on the touchy tool.
The pointy arrow on the left, yeah.
There we go.
Do you think it'd be better to go spread out or as in single file?
Single file is fine. That's that's fine.
I feel like I should be at the back since
Very
I don't even have to explain
typical.
myself.
Okay. So
You come back and res us all.
is there any more spells that you would like to cast before we set off?
I would like to cast Speed Art.
Okay. Yeah. So that's just your magic pool.
Just use magic pool, don't roll, or
Yeah, you need to roll your folk magic
Yep.
skill.
oh, it is horrible.
Oh,
What is my rolls? I haven't succeeded yet.
the positive thing is that nobody knows about this at the moment. Do you want to use a point of luck and re-roll it?
No.
No, okay, so you sort of like try to utter it out, but nothing tends to happen. Yeah, sorry, Hasra.
I'm just going to place one hand on my totem and in a very low voice, I'm going to say, please protect me today. And I'll put it,
Yeah.
put it back.
So you start heading in single file. Are you taking it slowly, I'm thinking?
Yeah, just moving on forward. Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Like penguins on a quest for a pebble.
Yeah.
A pebble that I have.
So I'm just going to move you up, keeping it in your order like this. At that point, Bartleby, could you make a perception check for me?
And here are my blind eyes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Look at you paying attention.
You head on to the island, and you're sort of like moving, and everybody's keeping an eye out, for any movement in the sand or anything like that. And you casually just look back over your shoulder, Bartleby, and you see that Molly Squaresail has cast off her boat, and she's quite a significant distance away from the island, and she seems to be stood on a boat with her arms crossed, and she sort of like looks over at you and sort of like laughs in your face. And Bartleby, you suddenly see that she's rigging up her boat, ready to set sail. At that point, Hasra, your perception, the salt in your eyes are removed. And as you are looking around, you suddenly see something that worries you slightly.
There are
Because
12 sets of eyes.
Close.
Oh no, don't say that.
There seems to be a couple of eye stalks there, and a couple of eye stalks here. And you actually see them and stop.
There's not one, there's 3. Maybe more.
All right. Well,
It's a trap.
damn it. All right, that's fine. Keep moving slowly. Whichever one comes up first, we'll throw the net towards them, and then I'll ignite it, and then we'll have to do with the other one.
The other two. Oh, they between these two.
Yeah. I'm assuming this one and this one's going to be our biggest problem.
Okay, then.
Right now.
So just to make it fair, we'll number them, and somebody can roll the dice for me. So this is 1. This is 2. This is 3. Yeah. So somebody. Yeah.
I want to roll.
Did you want to do something, Hasra, or not?
Yeah, I was going to say to Cyrus, maybe not light it straight away and see if the food distracts it.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
You can light it from any distance, can you not?
Think so. Yeah.
I can also, if that's
Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
I'm
it's
a master of fire.
yeah, it's
It's going to be a war on the beach.
I don't know what you're laughing at, but I'll just
I insulted
Bartleby the fire
Cyrus
master.
with my
all right, got you.
folk magic spell.
Rohan /roll space 1d3. Two.
Number 2.
This one, yeah. So at that point, let me just pop it into place. As you get to this point, Hasra, you notice that the ground starts to shake somewhat, and then up from the sand erupts what
Damn.
appears to be a huge crab. I thought Bartleby, I thought you had your hands over your eyes.
Just coughing.
I don't want to see it. And yeah, it suddenly goes, and the sand sort of like erupts and parts, and this giant crab erupts from the ground, and that would be a sensible time. Don't do it yet. To roll some initiatives. Let me just put, there you go. We got the bar up, so let me change that. We can delete that, and we can delete Hasra. Okay.
No.
Don't forget to click on your characters, please, and then roll me some initiative.
Wow.
Ooh.
How are we doing? Everybody got theirs in?
Yep.
Yeah, Rohan goes before Cyrus.
Okay, thank you. Let me
That's correct.
let me roll.
I go last, by the way. As always.
I go perfectly
That was
placed.
predictable.
When does the crab go is the good question.
Yeah. You know, this is not the right sheet that is assigned to it.
Does he have like a bandit skill set?
Yes.
Or is this the sorcerer crab we were told didn't exist?
Oh no.
That's why it's going like this.
What I've done, I've assigned the character sheet as giant crab, but it's not connected to the giant crab. It's actually connected to Death Pincer. And that's why. So hang on, let me just.
Oh, right. So there is still a Death Pincer, not just 3 giant crabs.
The island is death.
It is the island. It's the island.
That
That's
you know,
not
I
a
was
boat,
thinking
it's a
that.
hut.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's actually.
If all else fails, Cyrus is going to turn into a bird, chase down that woman, and kill her.
no, Death Pincer is going to be this tiny crab, just this tiny little crab.
Yeah. The king of crabs. You get up! You get up too!
Right.
I order.
Let me just roll, and then if it doesn't come up, I can add it. 22.
Bloody hell. Excuse my.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, let's add him to it.
Is this before or after we throw the thing?
This is as it erupts through the sand. So your Cyrus goes, Rohan goes first, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so now it's sort of like erupted out the sand, and now we're into combat round time. So naturally, Death Pincer starts to move towards the front of you. It's pincers coming out first as it gets closer and closer, and at the no, I won't make it do that yet. Yeah, so it starts coming out, and it comes towards Who's Hasra is going to come towards you first. And
You can't harm me. My wings are like a shield of steel.
your shield of steel. And it will hit with its crushing crustacean attack.
Better than crusty.
There goes Hasra's legs.
Yeah.
First
I'm
off,
going to keep my faith in Amriel. I've seen what the shield of Aegis does for Bartleby.
That
I'm going to,
yeah.
I bet you get the left arm, remember?
yeah. I need to make sure I hit the
It's left arm.
It hits left arm. Yeah. Okay. I'll remember that. Left arm. Here it comes. Dunk. 3.
Left arm. Unbelievable. Right leg.
Right leg. Okay. And it's going to do some damage. 9 points of damage, which I think is absorbed by your
Shield.
shield.
Yeah, if it's passive blocking, then it
Yeah.
takes the damage, and it's immune to all damage.
Yeah. So it sort of like snaps onto your leg, Hasra, and as it sort of like closes in, you see the light of Amriel shining and sort of like pulsate, and the crab Death Pincer moves it over to one side. Rohan, you're up next. Just to
I love crabs.
let you know, I'm assuming that you had weapons out, by the way.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yes.
Yeah. So nobody needs to take an action to get their weapon out.
Was crabs here?
But Bartleby, Bartleby's weapon is always out.
Why is my staff on the ground?
Yeah.
Oops.
Butterfingers.
Rohan.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna throw a dagger.
Yep. Throw away.
Not like it's gonna do damage.
It might do. Oh.
Bypass armor,
Cranked.
don't you?
I finally got one roll.
Yeah. That will be a critical, and it does have bypass armor on.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the knife that has bypass armor on. So you flick it at the crab. The crab's not using up an action point or anything like that to parry it. So you will have 2 specials. Okay, you do have a crit. Okay, so you can do max damage as one of your specials. You can use, for example, you could use choose location, which is not. Are you in? Yeah, you're in. Are you in short range?
Let's see.
You click on the little ruler. Yeah. So
15 meters is within short range, or no,
Yeah.
not within short range. It's medium range.
medium range. So you could do maximum max damage. You can't
Or-
use short.
Is it? Yeah, it'd be medium range.
So
Damage.
max damage would be a good whatchamacallit, a good critical one. Anything else that people want to suggest doing?
With the normal special, you could use what's the one that's not choose location, but like marksman or something, where you move at one location? Is that something?
Yeah.
But if he's choosing, he wouldn't need to do that, would he?
He's doing maxed. He can't choose
Oh, right, I
location
see.
because it's in medium.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you could use
good
marksman, yeah, and so you'll be able to move it. Once you roll a 1d20, you'll be able
So,
to move it.
I get 2 special effects,
Two,
or just 1 critical.
you get 2 special effects. They can both be critical if you wish, or one could be critical. Another one hasn't.
I'll do
Or you could
I'll
do
do
hunker down.
I'll do marksman.
Oh, pin down, sorry.
I'll do marksman plus maximum damage.
Okay then. So roll your d20 to see whereabouts on Death Pincer it goes in.
14.
Right. That is 14 is actually in its sort of like middle area. So you sort of like fling it down and you find a gap just between the hard crustacean shell and the soft underbelly. And you flick it in, and this bypasses armor, doesn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, he gave me bypass armor.
Does it bypass all armor, or does a set amount, Cyrus?
It should be all amount, I think.
Cool. Okay, then. So I need to know what your max damage is. So, do you have a damage modifier? 4. That's nice.
4.
Thank you. So that slides in, and you see it bury itself into Death Pincer, and it does sort of like you've definitely hurt it. It's definitely embedded in it. It's probably embedded right the way up into the hilt. And yeah, so that's your action. Gone, Cyrus, you're up on 17.
I'm gonna
Throw it.
I'm throwing it. I'm throwing it. Throw it towards it. Maybe distract it.
Okay, so roll your unarmed combat as you fling it towards the... It's not lit yet, isn't it? You're going to light it afterwards, yeah.
Well, yeah. When it gets a little more comfortable with it.
Yeah. So don't fumble at this point. Oh, no! Okay, then. So you chuck this. Because you got a critical, I'm going to tell me where you want it to land.
Right under it, right under where its mouth. And so when it gets all close and everything, all its nice little lower parts are showing. And
yeah, okay. So underneath near the front, so if when it explodes, sorry, it's going to do the soft underbelly. That's you done then on 17. Hasra, you're up on 14.
Okay, well, it's tried to hit me. I didn't want to hit it, but I'm going to have to. So I'm going to try and plant my foot back, and I'm going to thrust my spear.
Thrust it in there.
Thrust it deep.
Ooh,
nice. I need to take off. Is it 11?
11. Yep.
Because it is going to parry this. It has formidable natural weapons, which allows it to actively power or deflect missiles. And I'm just getting its... so I need to knock off a 11, isn't it? Minus 11. Go. Let's roll this. Oh, it actually... yeah, but let me tick it. It's ticked. It is ticked. It tries to parry your thrust that comes into it. Let's see what you do. So you will have a special. Let's see, and then I can then decide what the fumble leads to. That'll be an easier way of doing it. So special hit location damage.
Okay, I'm going to try and do press advantage.
Okay, yeah, nice.
So location is going to be... Oh, why is that there? Move that turn order over there. Oh, a 13.
13.
The same as before.
Let me just check. Yeah, it is exactly the same. So you need to do me some damage.
So with blade sharp, it's going to be... that bounced off the top of my screen.
Is that with everything on?
That's with blade sharp. So you got 3 there. It's normally 1d8 plus 1, and it's 1d10 plus.
Okay, but you do have bypass armor on.
Yes.
Do you not?
3 points going through.
And well, I'm going to impose the fumble now, because I try to parried that but didn't. So I'm going to say, if it's all right for you, that the fumble, it actually exposes itself a little bit too much, or it brings it forward. So instead of doing your normal damage, we'll double it to the 6 and whack it in there, since it did a fumble. There seems to be a lot of crab juice coming out, but that's it. And Cyrus is unpacking his unsalted butter at this point. And Bartleby.
Well, I want to use shock, but that might be too loud, so I'm gonna hold back for now until there's full pandemonium.
Too loud. As it
loud noise, I might wake up the others. And
one,
that would be a very
Do crabs
silly thing to
even
do.
hear? That's a good question.
they're mainly
Probably
vibration.
disturbance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to.
They're all about the vibe, you know. So,
I would like to cast, if I can, Blade Sharp on Rohan, or if he has the weapon out, if I can try and approach him and cast that.
I still got more daggers.
Yes, and you normally hold out 3 daggers in your hand ready to click them. So yeah, you can roll it via standard roll. Go for it.
Blade Sharp and
yeah, that's set up nicely. So you're we'll now do 1d6. Can you see that in the description of the spell, Max? So if it did 1d4, it ups it to 1d6 with the blade sharp. Yeah.
May Amriel guide your blades.
Yeah, brilliant.
Blade.
Blade. But remember that the next one, the second one, does not have bypass armor on. Okay, this is coming up to the second turn, and this beast is furious at you, Mr. Hasra. You've hit it in its underbelly. It looks madly at you and swipes round with its pincer. Are you trusting or not?
You're muted.
I'll be muted. Amriel has not let me down yet, and I'm going to put my blind faith in her.
Okay, so that will mean that I will get a special.
I've been down this road before.
Ooh.
Okay.
You can't just sit there and take hits.
Yeah.
You get tripped, and then the bandit starts laughing at you.
Yeah.
And then priest boy, and I'm like that.
Oh, actually, that's all a lie because you pressed advantage on me.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Did you not? Yeah. Yeah. So I can't actually attack on my 22 in any case because
that's right. Yes.
Yes. So I'm pressed advantage, so I can't attack. But so that brings us on to you, Rohan.
I'm gonna throw another dagger.
Yes.
Does that dagger shine with moonlight?
You know, it just might.
Yeah, but Rohan looks at 2 and thinks, "No, I don't want that one."
That one's kind of
too lighty. Yeah, Chuck.
All right.
Daggers incoming. Ooh, yes, yeah. Now you'll have a normal special. So things like bypass armor are crits. So you won't be able to do that. You're too far away for choose location. You could use impale, mainly because
I don't think impale works on a creature that big.
No, impale is nothing to do with size. It's to do with damage.
It's almost like impale would then stick in an important joint.
Yeah, exactly.
A skill to be one harder for it.
And the beast, the hit points, hit location points scale with the monsters. So say, for example, you hit it and do 6 points on a human would probably really hurt an arm. 6 points on a giant, it's a little bit like, you know, a little needle going in. Or you can use any other special that you want.
I'd like to go for marksman this time again. Yeah.
Is that a?
I can move it one location.
Is it a normal special?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's not a problem then. So roll your 1d 20.
1d6.
No,
or
1d
1d20 and then 1d6.
Yeah.
That's right.
So 13 is in the same place as you hit it before. So you can either leave it there or you can move it. You can move it to either the sort of like the abdomen of it, so further back, or you can go for either the right or the left pincer.
Same location.
Okay. Do me some damage.
Nice. 5.
Yeah, that clatters off the armor. It doesn't. It doesn't penetrate the armor at all.
This is all your fault, Amriel.
The first one did with Cyrus's bypass armor. Okay.
Which is the most amazing spell ever.
It is. Yeah. Cyrus, you're up.
It doesn't seem like the crab cared about my nice salad that I prepared for it, but
it doesn't look like it's at the moment. It has a nicer meal on its menu.
Got it.
He's
So
going
I'm
to slowly unwrap it in a second.
But it's vegetarian.
Well, I can blow it up and then, you know, lose our chance of probably making one big one. Or I think we have this, guys. I'm gonna go for attack, so maybe I can get a press advantage on him as well, preventing him from attacking us.
Okay.
All right.
So
That's my mission.
You're just doing a normal
Typical attack. Yeah. I'm dancing my way.
dance away.
Oh,
That will hit. I don't have minus 11 because I can, although I can't hit you, I can
protect yourself.
parry against it.
You could use a point of luck to make that a 5, couldn't you?
Say again, sorry.
You could use a point of, or Cyrus could use a point of luck to make that a 5, couldn't he?
Not now, because I've rolled my thing, which is a miss. So you will get a special. So you'll get one special against me. So let me know what you want to do there. Are we all right with time, people, just to carry on?
Yeah, I'm fine on my end. I'm trying to think of the best special. If Hasra plans to keep maintaining his press advantage, I might try to go for something a little more aggressive on my part.
Well, you actually do have bypass armor on yours, don't you? Still.
Yeah.
So that may be a better. It's what are you wielding at the moment?
My glaive.
Right. Okay then. So I mean, you could impale it if you wish.
No, but you're gonna pull it back out again.
But you have to pull it back out again.
Which I might not be able to do. Bleed? I can make it bleed.
You can choose location.
Oh, yes, that's the one I want. I want to choose location.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So where do you want the location to be in?
And it's a little belly right here.
The same one that everybody else has hit. Is that what you want?
Yeah, I want to get right under it. I want to. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So there's the front bit underneath where everybody else has been hitting it, or there's the back bit under it, the abdomen part.
Front bit, because everyone's been.
Yeah. So you can see that's where one of Rohan's daggers is embedded, etc., and there's ooze coming out of it. Yeah. So roll me some damage. I need.
Come on, baby. Give me the good stuff. Give me the hot stuff. Yes!
Good.
Yes!
Great.
That deserves a golf clap.
Armor penetration.
Do you want to? And the interesting thing is, you actually get a negative damage modifier. I didn't know that.
Yeah. 1d2.
Yeah. So yeah, 9 points of damage will go into this bit, and yeah, I need to roll an endurance check at this point. But I'm fine. I'm fine. And Hasra, we're coming up to you.
Seeing
Make me
that this thing hasn't gone boom, I'm again just brace thrust. So
Brace and thrust.
brace and thrust.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. that definitely hits. I have no action points left.
Again, press advantage. This thing, I'm waving this thing at my spear in the face as I'm thrusting forward, then ducking it down and hopefully getting it in the same place as last time.
Yeah, let's go for it. Oh, 18. What was your special? Sorry.
Press advantage.
Yeah. Okay then. So this is in one of its pincers.
Oh,
It's in a right pincer. So do me some damage. A nice high.
Oh, 6.
You have bypass armor on, don't you?
I do indeed. Yeah, I didn't throw mine.
Yeah. Yeah, you sort of like whack it into one of the joints of the crab's pincer, and it looks like it's still intact, but it was definitely a good hit. It seems to have a lot of hit points on these front areas. And Bartleby, you're up.
I'll just spend my turn or free action, say to Rohan, not enough faith.
Ouch! Ouch! Right, we're going top of the round. Rohan, do you have any action points left?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and so you can chuck your final dagger until you need to reload.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with chucking another dagger.
Yeah,
Yay.
nice.
All right.
That
I'm gonna use my last luck point.
You
Okay.
hit a seagull.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Look out!
And I'll just
Come on.
re-roll that.
Was so close. It glances off and bypasses the nasty Death Pincer. Cyrus, you're up.
Ooh, yeah.
If you have another action point.
I do. I've been a conservative little boy. I'm going again with I'm gonna dance it up
Okay, yeah.
and spring it right under him. Come on, baby, give me the good stuff.
Oh,
last
look.
point of luck.
And
Last point of luck. I'm gonna switch that around.
okay, yeah. So you'll have a special and then hit location and damage.
Same special as last time. Hit location. I'm choosing the same spot I hit last time.
Yeah, nice one.
Just remember though, you get your action points back as well if you want to parry. Oh no, you
What?
have action
No.
points. I'll be quiet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's
I've used them all up.
Oh.
Yeah, so
That was a very dancey attack.
Do you know the golf clap we did last time? We could have taken
I can imagine Cyrus did a wonderful thing, and then in the first one, then he turns around to you and says, "I didn't win. Just watch this, watch this."
Oh, he's got hungry. He's just slicing a little bit off.
Yeah, just having a bit of a nibble there, but
it still bypasses armor, so you might have to still do an endurance check.
I do need to make an endurance check. I certainly do.
Oh!
Which he actually does. I'm going to have to turn Captain Kangaroo down in the future because I think I've just been deafened twice. Yeah, so he has to make his second one. I'm just seeing. It's not. We're not into major wound territory yet, but it does. He makes his endurance check, and and so it seems to have caught a part of the crab. It might have just sort of like nicked through and got its nervous system or something like that, but it definitely shimmers somewhat, and then seems to try to bury itself back underground in a last attempt. But Hasra, you managed to catch it just as it goes down, and what do you call it when you give the dying?
Oh, just cute digress thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to literally just quickly just ram my spear through its head.
Yeah, and it just sort of like goes straight through, and your bypass armor cracks the carapace as it sort of like goes through, and its eyes flop down, and Death Pincer seems to be defeated.
Seems to
Huzzah!
yeah.
So
Seems to be.
are those other eyes there? Are they just like fake ones? He's just stuck in the ground.
Well,
The golf clubs.
they don't actually seem to be moving or anything like that. These were real ones.
Oh.
But it seems that you've got a clear line to the boat now.
Just in case, I will grab my net to drag with me.
Oh yeah, got you.
Just in case these turned out to be mama and son.
I would like to retrieve the daggers that I can retrieve.
Yeah, the first one is probably buried. Well, hang on, give me a brawn roll for the first one.
Oh, that's a blade sharp one as well, isn't it?
Hey,
Yeah, and you do manage to pull that one out. That's the only one that you need a brawn roll for. The other one's on the sand, and the other one comes out quite easily.
hey.
So just remember, Rowan, you've got one of those daggers has blade sharp.
No,
That's armor.
because the scene has changed now. Yeah, so everything's back to normal.
Oh, I'm weak and vulnerable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the boat is up ahead. Is the plan to get to the boat?
Oh yes. Yeah. Again,
Plan is
moving
to get to the boat.
cautiously.
Yeah. So as you move up, nothing else seems to happen on across the sand, and these two sets of eye stalks don't seem to move or anything at all. And yeah, as you get there, you see the cabin door slightly ajar. It looks like it's open enough for you to get into. If that you don't need to open it any further. You can just slide into it.
Do we have some light?
I have my lantern we can use.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wonderful, Bartleby.
I'll go
Would
ahead
you?
and light my candle in the lantern. And
Do you want to pass it here for me to have a quick look through?
yeah, I'd rather you do that. So
Yeah, so it seems that I don't know if you can remember the back of the ship that you sailed to Lindo in the first thing, but seems to be a series of rooms in here that probably need to be investigated. You've got a lantern, so you can use your perception checks to see whether or not you can find anything.
Well, I just want to look through first, see if there's nothing initially in the first corridor.
Yeah, there seems to be, apart from a thin layer of sand, there seems to be nothing. Let me just check your roll. But you do notice that in the far cabin, there seems to be like a coffer. It's not a big chest. It's a coffer that could quite easily have rolled up maps in.
Are there any footprints in this sand?
Yeah, no.
inside?
It looks like this area has been undisturbed for quite a while.
It's just I remember Molly saying that somebody got in and through the door, but clearly
Yeah.
she was lying. Right. So yeah, I'll mention this to Bartleby, and it seems clear to come through, and I'll move through, and hopefully people will follow me.
Yeah, I'll follow behind as
Sure.
well.
I can't read.
I can't wait for Bartleby to read for me. But I will also roll perception to help find things.
Yeah.
Come on, baby, give me the good stuff. No, I won't.
So it seems that the only thing that of any value that all of you can see as you sort of like scale around and maybe split up a little way, there seems to be nothing threatening in this part of the boat. But there is this coffer that seems to be just placed. It just seems to be, it's not overturned or anything like that. You can see a whole load of wooden items that might have been barrels or things like that, split up. But the only real thing of value seems to be this coffer.
Bartleby, what do you make of this?
Like a coffer of some kind.
It has no lock on it or anything like that.
Not Hasra, you're talking to me. Cyrus, could you open this coffer?
That's usually how curses work.
Well, you're a sorcerer, so if there's a curse, you can obviously decurse yourself.
Actually, curses are more on the faith-based portion of magic.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm sure that I can help you out with a situation like that. How about,
Yeah,
how about
yeah,
we open up this regular-looking coffer?
How about I open it?
You can open it. Yes.
Okay, well, if you're
That
an expert
seems like
with
a
coffers,
Yeah.
I thought Cyrus was the expert with coffers here.
No, Cyrus is expert with being cool.
Okay, so Rohan, are you opening the coffer?
Yeah, slowly.
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter whether or not you open it slowly or not. As you slowly open it, you notice the inside is completely and utterly empty. There's nothing in there at all. However, at that point, the ground underneath all of you opens up and you suddenly find yourself falling. Could you please make for me an easy brawn test, all of you, please?
This is a real Death Pincer. We knew it was the island. And oh no.
Yay!
Easy. So
I fail.
Bartleby, you're fine. Hasra, you're fine. Oh, how many? I've got 2 Bartlebys here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted. I was saying that I wanted to use a point of luck to reroll.
Oh, got ya. Okay, then. So Bartleby's fine. Hasra's fine. Cyrus is not fine unless you're looking it, and Rohan's not fine unless you're looking it. Yes or no? You any luck points left?
Don't got any luck points.
No.
Okay. So this goes on to you take 2 points of damage in your legs as you hit the ground. It will not be stopped by armor. So it won't be absorbed by armor. You also feel that there was something sharp that actually hit you. And just to, can you all make for me a standard athletics check?
Can I do acrobatics?
Yes.
Nice. I'm gonna do a flip.
I'm starting to think my luck is really bad.
So I'm gonna do the flip.
So Hasra's fine. Cyrus is fine.
My last point of luck to reroll that.
Go for it.
This isn't gonna work. I had.
Yes, it does.
Oh!
So Rohan, you're the only one that fails that. And you land what appears to be in a deep pit. Along right the way around you, you seem to have landed on skulls. And some of those skulls are, and bones and skeletons, etc. And some of them are actually, the skulls are, and bodies are pierced onto spears. And that's what you're trying to avoid with your 2 tests. And you, Rohan, you definitely feel the slice of a spear into one of your legs, or as you fall. And yeah, you look up and you don't actually see anything. It just seems to be darkness that stretches up for endless distance up ahead of you. Just to let you know, as you stand and sort of like recover, there seems to be one way out of this pit.
Suicide.
And that's yeah. And that's where we'll leave it for tonight. Thank you for hanging on for those last few minutes.
I told you guys, 1 hour until death.
Nobody's dead yet.
Who
Yeah,
opened
you're
the door?
circling on that spike right now. You can't.
Yeah.
Didn't you sense magic on the ship?
Yeah, I was just thinking. Yeah, there was a faint magic coming from within. I thought, oh, the wand of blocking all things that are annoying me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stones, but maybe it's cannibal ship.
Yeah.
I want to know who built the cave because it's under sand. Really well done.
Yeah.
That might be the magic.
From
the magic sailor's magic boat with the magic trap.
The ultimate sandcastle.
And if you can fit everything, all the clues together, then you might have an idea whereabouts you are. So anyway, we'll leave the party there for the night and see what's...
Are you saying that this
We're in Atlantis?
That we've... Because you said that we're supposed to go to this boat because it would give us the way to Chahelia's realm, and now we're in a dark cave.
With spiky heads.
Did we just trigger like a teleport?
Plane shift.
Okay, I'll shut up and let you continue your outro.
That seems to be the case. I'll let you have that. The interesting thing is, couple it together about Molly sailing off. And
Molly was working with them all along.
So now you're in a pit with skulls.
Molly in that damn boat.
There's a doorway out, you said?
A passageway out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
And you do have your lantern still, Bartleby. And that's it. Okay. We'll leave it there. You survived Death Pincer Island and now find yourself in a strange location after Bartleby and Rohan got very nervous about an acolyte. Maybe, just maybe, you are in the lair of Chahelia next week.
That would be convenient.
Next week we'll find out, especially when we've used a lot of magic points up.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm fine.
I know about the abduction.
Yeah. So thank you for watching, everyone. If you've watched now, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for bearing with us as we had a late start, but a nice late finish to get up to this point. We'll be back next time where the party will try to discover where they are and, more importantly, where they're going, and whether or not together they can defeat an acolyte or even the acolyte's god or goddess
The
herself.
power of friendship.
We will see next time. Until then, stay safe, look after yourself, and it's goodbye from me. Goodbye. And it's goodbye from them.
Come back, Cass. I like that. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Don't come back now.
Need to turn my